They said the Black Death spared no one. It swept through villages, towns, and cities like an invisible fire, taking the young, the old, the rich, the poor. Entire households fell silent in days, whole communities vanished in weeks. Chroniclers spoke of corpses stacked like firewood, of carts overflowing with the dead, of priests too weak to bury the fallen. By some estimates, 1 out of every 3 Europeans was gone within just a few years, and yet not everyone died. Against impossible odds, some lived. They walked through pestilence and survived, while their families, neighbors, and rulers perished around them. Why? What secrets did these survivors carry? Was it chance, divine mercy, or something hidden deep within their blood? To the terrified people of the 14th century, survival seemed random, almost cruel. A mother could die in the morning while her infant thrived. A family might collapse one by one, yet a single servant lived to tell their tale. In villages, some households vanished entirely, while next door families endured. Rumors swirled. Those who lived must have struck a bargain with dark forces, or perhaps they had committed secret sins that marked them for punishment later. Others believed the survivors had been chosen by God, spared as a remnant for the future. But to modern eyes, we can glimpse deeper truths. One secret may have been isolation. In cities, the plague spread like wildfire through crowded streets, marketplaces, and churches. But in remote mountain hamlets or among shepherds high in the hills, contact was limited. Those who lived apart from the great roads of trade had fewer chances for the plague to reach them. A shepherd tending his flock in the Alps might live untouched while Paris drowned in death. Yet isolation explains only part of the story, for the plague reached even small towns, even the countryside. Another secret may have been resistance of the body. Not all who were bitten by an infected flea perished. Some fought off the disease, recovering with fever and scars, but not death. Why? Was it luck, or did their bodies carry defenses unknown at the time? Modern science suggests that genetic differences played a role. Certain immune system variations may have offered protection, allowing some to withstand the deadly bacteria while others succumbed. Survivors, without knowing it, carried these shields within their blood, passing them on to descendants. Even today, some scientists trace elements of modern immunity in Europe back to the survivors of the Black Death. There were also those who practiced unintended precautions. Some believed in the miasma theory, that foul air carried the plague, and so they sealed their homes, burned incense, or avoided crowded places. Though their reasoning was wrong, their actions sometimes worked, keeping fleas and infected contact away. Others fled cities entirely, retreating to the countryside, hoping distance would protect them. Not all who fled survived, for the plague often followed, but some did live because of it. In Florence, a group of young nobles and ladies retreated into the hills, passing their days with storytelling, as immortalized in Boccaccio's Decameron. Their escape may have been fiction, but it reflected a real truth. Some survived by running, by hiding, by chance of timing and distance. Still, survival was often bewilderingly unfair. There are accounts of gravediggers who handled corpse after corpse day after day and yet lived. Men who loaded carts of plague victims, priests who gave last rites in pestilent rooms, nurses who bathed the dying. Some of these survived. Did they have extraordinary constitutions? Did fate shield them? No one knew. And in their mystery, survivors became both envied and feared. Some believed they were blessed, marked by God. Others whispered they must be cursed, carrying the disease inside them, dangerous to be near. Survival was a gift and a stigma alike. The plague also revealed secrets of society. Not only individuals survived, but whole groups. The wealthy sometimes escaped by withdrawing to private estates, avoiding crowded towns. Monasteries that locked their gates early, forbidding visitors, sometimes endured, while others perished. Cities that enforced crude quarantines, keeping ships at bay, isolating travelers, occasionally saved lives, though they could not stop the tide forever. These acts of separation, of walls and distance, offered some communities survival. Yet even then, chance reigned supreme. A noble might lock himself away only for a single servant to bring the pestilence through a kitchen door. A village might be spared 1 year, then destroyed the next. The line between life and death was so fine that it seemed as though death itself chose at random. But beyond chance, beyond isolation and immunity, survival reshaped the survivors themselves. Those who lived carried not just their lives, but scars of the soul. They had watched families vanish, communities collapse, and faith itself shatter. Some became hardened, convinced that life was fleeting and should be grasped in pleasure and greed. Others turned to faith with renewed desperation, certain that their survival meant divine purpose. Still others lived with guilt, the survivor's guilt, of wondering why they lived when so many died. The survivors' children carried another legacy. Unbeknownst to them, their bloodlines were changed by survival. Geneticists today suggest that the plague acted as a brutal filter, removing the vulnerable and allowing certain traits to pass on. Over centuries, those traits shaped the health of Europe. In a way, the survivors rewrote the future of human immunity. But to the people of the 14th century, such explanations were unknowable. For them, the secrets of survival lay in mystery, in whispers, in prayers. They saw the dance of death all around them, yet they had slipped its grasp, and in the silence that followed, they asked themselves, "Why me?" Perhaps the deepest secret is this, that survival was not a gift of destiny or immunity alone. It was a reminder of the randomness of existence, of the fragility of life, of the thin line on which every human walks. Some lived because they were lucky, others because they were strong, others because they were hidden, or blessed, or cursed. But all who lived carried the same memory that death had passed them by when it could so easily have claimed them. Centuries later, when we speak of the Black Death, we remember the millions who died. But we should also remember those who lived, the carriers of hidden strength, of chance, of mysteries we still do not fully understand. For in their survival lay the future of Europe, and perhaps, in a small way, the future of all of us.